1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, cha-cha-cha. Ooh-cha. This is another episode of Mikey's World, and I still continue to be the Mikey, and we're gonna work on my brother's C10 Squarebody. In this episode, we're gonna take care of the intake gasket seals that we need to do, that I messed up last time. That's my fault. I take the blame. But also, the crank seal, you know, that's on the timing cover, she's a little bit leaky. Maybe it's the intake gasket just leaking that far down. But either way, we're going to take care of them both because we want to make sure that the oil stays in this motor to the best of its abilities. Because I love my brother to death and I'm not dogging on him, but he's not the best at checking the fluids. You know, he lost a tranny for not checking the fluid. He admits it. I hope he's not getting mad that I'm telling the whole world. But, you know, everybody's got their flaws. You know, so what we're gonna do is just try and make sure that we could keep the fluids in this thing to the best of the abilities that we can. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We got a leaky intake, we got a leaky crankshaft seal on the front of the motor. Thank goodness it's on the front and not the main bearing, or the, what's that called, you know, on the rear, the rear main seal. That's the word I was looking for. That's right. But we got that one in the front to take care of, but we also got this little tail shaft seal, you know, that the drive shaft goes into on the back of the transmission. So that's an easy one. We just got to drop the drive shaft, pop that seal off, pop the seal back in, put the drive shaft back on. That shouldn't take too long. Should be easy. But around here in Mikey's World, everything takes longer and is always bigger than it needs to be. Because maybe I'm just making mountains out of molehills. I don't know. I was always told that as a kid. So how did I grow out of that? I don't know. Don't ask me. So, let's get to work. We're gonna use Cody's little socket set that he left in the truck. The Duralaster 9000er kit. You know, she's got enough to get the job done. Look at them shiny things. Woo-wee. And I'm only using these because I didn't bring mine. Mine are at home, like an idiot. But that's because I've been working on the Toyota Corolla at home. You know, it happens. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the shroud here because it's easy and I don't really want to deal with fluids yet. Because I just don't like getting antifreeze on my hands, mainly. Yeah, I know it's gonna happen at some point. I'm just trying to avoid it at every cost possible. So I'm gonna start with the shroud, you know, get my mind moving and make me less willing to do, or I mean more willing to do stuff that I don't want to do, you know. It's just a little motivational work is what I call it. You gotta motivate yourself to work, so you do something small. That's this task. Get the shroud out the way. Oh, of course, that one's a different size. It does have the flat header in there though. So, you know. Alright, now I need to remember my bolts and where they go. I should go get the magnet tray, but nah. That didn't sound good. Oh wait, already dropping stuff. Well, here's the time. I gotta deal with this dang fluid. Might as well get her done now that I'm moving. Hopefully I could just not make as big of a mess as I usually do.
What's the choice?
What-cha-cha.
Boy, that baby's on there. Holy shit, dude. Oh, so we got those else on that one, I think.
What-cha-cha-cha. Ooh-cha. What-cha. New day, working on this bad boy. We did get pretty far last night. It did get late pretty fast, dark pretty fast, so I didn't get much filming done. But check this out. Water pump, it's a goner. Power steering pump, she's on the side just like the AC pump over yonder way. What else did we do? Oh, the intake, it's unbolted. It's ready to come lift it off. Then we got our distributor ready, and I don't know if you can see that little blue mark down here and then the one on the firewall. We just made a mark and then lined the pencil straight and made a mark. That way we know right where she should be landing on the way back in. So now it's time to pull this intake so we can get to looking at what I did wrong on the intake gaskets last time and replace those, and then we could get into this timing cover and try and figure out if it's geared or not and do that crankshaft seal. That's why we do the little mark. You see the little rotation? Is you kind of want to remember where that sits. Alright, now we'll put a little mark on the back of that rotor on the distributor somewhat so it'll not move. Get her done.
Oh yeah, that popped right. That popped way easy. A little too easy. Oh, you got your Wevels with you? Got you.
Oh, I'm hung on something. Oh, the throttle cable.
Okay, let's try that again.
Yep. There she goes.
Oh, you got her. You got her. Cool.
This is exactly why we're doing this intake. It's because you could tell when I gooped this the last time, I just did not put enough goop there. I should have used the rubbers, in my opinion. So essentially, what I'm saying is, don't forget your rubber, okay? So we set a rag in here to be able to scrape all this junk off, and then we could just take the rag out and it'll soak up all the fluid that fell in here. We're just taking a moment of silence to hopefully bring this RTV back to life, because it is cold from being in storage. The room we got it in is super cold. It gets cold at night. So we're hoping that it'll come back to life and we don't have to go get another one. You know, something like this. Or yeah, I guess people do this. But once that guy is ready, hopefully it don't take but a couple minutes, because it's a pretty warm day out there. So it should be good. We'll just put her in the corners here, squeeze in a little gunk. Then we'll take these little cork ones, which I know they made cork ones, but I've never personally seen them. But anyways, we'll put the goops in the corners, then we'll lay these down in the shapies of they're supposed to be, and then we'll goop the corners again, and we'll put the gaskets on the intake. Drop the intake back on, man! 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot diggity dog! We just did all that extra work just to get to some easy gaskets. Gaskets, they're easy to replace. There's just usually a lot to get to them. Oh, it's getting warm. It's getting a little malleable, man. It didn't take too long before we ran into trouble. And who's to blame? I don't know. I should have known. But these gaskets just don't line up. You can see that water jacket's a little low. You can lift it up though, right? But then your intake and exhaust ports are not lined up. So that's not good neither. Here's the reason. These are, what are they? 1955 to 85 V8 gaskets. This motor is an 86 to 98 or 95 range. And maybe it was the parts store person. They didn't understand that there's an older, or I mean a newer motor in an older truck. I don't know. You know, it happens. I overlooked it before I opened it, but it's all right. We'll just put them in the shelf. So we're gonna go get some new ones. But in the meantime, we're gonna have Cody pick them up, bring them here. And we're gonna start taking this timing cover apart, getting this balancer off and stuff. Cause I wanna find out if there's gears in there. And we need to do that seal on the timing cover. Check out this coolness. So I was struggling trying to just ratchet this little wrench here. It just wanted to spin the whole motor. So I put this little wrench over one head, held it up against the other head, put one hand here and one hand here, and it started working. You want to see? Alright, see that? Both hands in position, and just, you know, like you normally would. Most guys would use an impact, but I like grandpa tools, you know, old man tools. We don't need no impacts. And it'll fall off eventually right in our pan and make us all angry. But it works, okay? I didn't want you to think I was a fool and telling you a lie. It's almost there, man. It's almost there. And there it is. Oh, it's so heavy. Ugh. That was definitely leaking because that one was hard to get in.
Lucky that baby didn't fall out into that.
Oh, that would have sucked. Here we go, moment of truth. Is there gears or chain? What do you want to see? Oh, she is definitely holding on in that oil pan down there. We might have to go down there and loosen her up.
Yeah. Sure enough.
It's geared. Can see it already. There it is. Got the timing cover off. You know, a little lack of thought about the oil pan on my end. But anyway, I was correct. There's gears in here instead of a chain. So, I'm not as dumb as I look. Alright, my YouTubies, it's been quite a bit of time now. I got the timing cover back on. The harmonic balancer back on. And the intake gaskets, you know, of course, we had to get some new ones. And again, the new ones didn't come with these little bridge gaskets. But luckily, the old ones that we bought that were wrong, we could use those ones, and we just mix-macked 2 gaskets to make 1 good gasket. And this is the outcome. Now it's time to drop that intake back on. Alrighty, peoples. We're on a new day again. We didn't get too far yesterday. I had to give up, take care of some responsibilities, you know. Get you guys a video out for last week. Sorry for being late, by the way. But anyways, we got the intake on. Well, Cody did. And he got the little pulley on for the harmonic balancer. And we also got the distributor set. So now, we're pretty much putting the front of the motor back together. So that's alternator, power steering pump, water pump, you know, all the goodies. That's the goal. And then spark plug cap, you know, yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're doing. Stuff like that. There's a little something we noticed yesterday that's really not exactly good. I don't know if you can see this right here. That's your steering arm. And these, your transmission lines, all right? And you, let me get close, right here. Can you see right there? Get close. That's touching. See that? It's no good. So we got to take care of that because I'm pretty sure these are wore through and leaking fluid. So we'll just maybe chopulate on that and rubber hose it from there for now until we can figure out what we're gonna do for a permanent fix. And then there's also another thing that I want to take care of is this guy. This is our fuel line, and that's a little squeezed tight. Struggling for the fuel, maybe? I don't know. So we're just gonna take care of these quick little easy fixes real quick. Get the front of the motor back together, and then hopefully we'll be driving this bad boy around today. I don't know. We still don't have a seat. Oh, he's over here. Look at this little guy. You see him? Oh, he's coming this way.
He went zinging.
Do you guys struggle getting your hoses on sometimes? You know, like this? Stuff like that. You know, today you don't have to no more, all right? Because let me show you something that may help you out. You need to get you one of these things right here, and that is a Plumber's Reamer, man. They are the best. So, what you do is, you just stick her in the hole, and you just wobble her out, all right? And you see that edge forming? Now you do it a second time. Make yourself feel comfortable. And you see that nice little round bevel edge you gave her? Now she'll slip right on. Right on. See that? Right on. No struggle. We got carried away for quite a bit of time now. We've been killing it. This thing almost looks like it's back together. Come check it out. Got our AC pump back on. We got our new water inlet on. The cap's on. We still got to plug our wires in. We got the water pump and the fan on. Power steering pump down there in the darkness. The alternator's being wrapped up right now. We got a little bit of wiring to do. We got the belts. So stuff's going good. But being that I worked so hard for so long, I think it's lunchtime and warm snack time. Finished up our warm snack real quick like. Came back out here and man, we tidied up real quick. We got our heater hoses, a couple electricals, we got our spark plugs on, man. Woo, doggy Cody. He's finishing up one of the, what is this thing called? The fan shroud bolts. And then this thing will be ready to fire. Everything's looking real good over here yonder way. Minus all our tool mess up here. But since everything's starting to look finished up in this area, that means we could get rid of all this junk. And we could put the little closey thingy that covers this. What do you call that? The hood? Yeah, the hood. Or the bonnet? You know this thing? The thing that closes. We got rail racing going on over here. Lawnmower versus little ATV. Bolts in place for the right here over there.
Sort of keep that more than 5.
a little dusty on there, but I'll say it looks better with the blue bonnet on it. So now that the blue bonnet is on it, we got this little tail shaft seal back here. That guy we need to get replaced. So I'm laying down here. Cody's over yonder way chilling like a villain with Maddie. But this is an easy one guy task, 4 bolts, you know what I'm saying? We also got to get that cover from the transmission over there, yonder way by the oil pan, from when we dropped the oil pan doing the timing cover. We got to do that still too. Well, the old one put up a pretty good fight, but I got it out. Don't worry guys, I got you. And I also got the new one in. Look how pretty it looks. Aww. Simple drive shaft installed, and man, that just seems like a long drive shaft on camera. Sweet. Yep, we got that cover in, and I ended up wiping my sleeve all over this dirty chrome cover, and it's super clean now. I'm just kidding, I actually did it with a rag. Another day on this beautiful blue square body, and we're waiting on Cody to bring us some fluids. We got a little bit of oil and transmission fluid, but we still need the antifreeze and some other stuff before we can actually get some tuning and take this thing on a test drive. So we're just chilling like villains, wondering what we could do, and well, I think we're gonna attempt to tint some windows, you know? I'm not sure. We're gonna try. But we do have quite a bit of a mess. A lot of dirt everywhere. The windows are just dirty. And the whole truck is dusty. I'd recommend to probably do this in the cleanest area possible. But we don't have time for that. We're gonna do it this way. We're just gonna do it as is. Before we can get this tinted, we gotta get this old stuff that's flaking off and just faded. We gotta get it gone. Yeah, I got a little bit of a grasp of what's going on here. We're using this Milwaukee heat gun and heating the back side of the glass and warming it up and just pulling this at a slow, even pace. I like to work the edges around and then bring her into the middle, but that's me. Take your time though. Start your edge up here with the razor blade. That's how we did it. Oh, see that little separation? Come back with the razor blade and get that little part. Tint gone. Come back with some of this Windex here. Go ahead and spray her on. And your trusty old razor scraper, and be gentle. Be gentle. And the glue will just scrape right off and wad up and look like a booger. You see it? Looks like a nasty green booger. And just do this till it looks more like this. And then come back and Windex again and clean your window down. We rolled this out a chunk on the outside of the glass. And then we made sure that we had the little clear piece that comes off on the right side. Came back and cut her closer to size. And then now we'll open up the door and clean the window once more time, wet everything down, and go to town. After a whole crap ton of water sprayed all over this window and everything else surrounding, even our own faces. Get you one of these and just squeegee away. And hey, no, this ain't no easy task. It all seems easy, but there's definitely gonna be a couple imperfections doing it yourself. Little guy, done. Now I think This just looks beautiful when you look at how the floor looks. And 1 second. And when it's also like this outside, not a good day to do window tint. So I think that's where we're gonna stop with the window tint for now. It's just those windows. But now it's time to get this seat that I made, not that I made, the seat back in that I made a cover for. Man, I'm excited to see this thing go in. But before I do that, I gotta use my brand new vacuum again and succulate all this nasty dirt out of here first. But look at that seat. Don't you just think that it'll look good in there? Vacuum complete enough. You know, there's a couple misties, but good. It's a driver. So you know what that means, right? Do you hear that wind out there? Swinging that old rope and that tree around. Anyway, time to get this seat in real quick, because I'm excited to see that bad boy up against this brand new blue paint, man.
Very nice, yeah. Fucking
Yeah, we might have to come my way past steering wheel, right?
There we go.
Sorry.
Caught the carpet, no worries. You can see the hole. Do you see the hole? Are we anywhere close?
Yes, we're right on it.
Oh, how lucky was that? Shit, take it.
How does it look, YouTubies? I think it looks great. Bolt this bad boy in real quick.
Yeah.
Here it is, folks. The seat's back in the truck and it sits comfy. Looks good. So I think it's time to stop screwing around, get these door panels screwed in, do an oil change and a fluid check, and go test drive this bad boy, because it's been a while. Definitely a good sign that you took the oil filter off the proper way, okay guys? If your hand don't look like this, you didn't do it right. Alright, my YouTubies, we done did our fluid check, so I think it's time to go take this thing for a long drive, not a short drive. Oh shit, should probably close Cody's tools. On this road, you turn, come back up real quick. Get her up to speed. I didn't even see him this round. I'm so enthused with driving this truck, dude. Cody's gonna be thrilled.
I sure hope so. Put a lot of work into this.
I'm definitely taking this to Julia's work tonight. Sorry,
yeah?
Cody.
Even get no traction.
Instant spin. That's a successful test drive, my YouTubies. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and comment. So always remember, we're here for a good time, not a long time, so stay motivated. Thanks for watching.